Hi, everyone. Many people ask the question that if wearing a shaitel is about being modest, then how come we are wearing the most beautiful and attractive wigs, often nicer than our own hair? I get this question the whole time, especially because, number one, I'm wearing one. For those who don't know, a shaitel is a wig. And I actually sell them as well. So I've always got to have the answers on the tip of my tongue. So as I said, people are always asking, how come, it's all about being modest and you guys are walking around with these long, beautiful, wavy, amazing wigs? And I'd like to explain, the answer to that question. Even though there are many sects in religious Jewish circles with many different opinions, I'm going to explain according to the Chabad point of view. I'm Chabad, and so this is, my belief. I have to tell you that the whole reason for covering our hair is that once we get married, our own hair is considered a naked part of our body. So it's not really to do with us looking like a dag or looking, frumpy or making sure that no men look at us. It's really about the fact that our hair is a part of our body that now has to be covered, and it's only for our husbands and ourselves, which it makes it very special. And, for me, it feels very special that my husband is the only one that gets to see it. When wearing a shaitel, as I said before, it's not about making ourselves look less attractive. In fact, with Chabad, we're actually we're encouraged to buy wigs that make us feel comfortable and that we feel attractive and we're happy wearing. We don't necessarily have to look different to other people around us. And also, I think that when I'm talking to someone who's not wearing one, they don't necessarily feel like they're very different to me or they're, inferior or, not comfortable talking to me because I'm looking very different to them. So as well as us wanting to, look like everyone else, it's also about making other people feel comfortable. So going back to the whole idea of being modest, when we talk about being modest in our clothes and in our wigs, it's really about covering the appropriate areas rather than making us look unattractive. And the same way as we're allowed to wear fashionable clothes and trendy clothes and look like just buy clothes in regular shops and look like everyone else. So the same thing is with a wig. We're allowed to wear attractive long shaitels, and it's actually no rules of the shaitel being a certain length or a certain style, and we could just wear whatever we're comfortable with. Also, with talking about being modest, it's interesting that a woman is actually compared to the Torah. If you think about it, and when you go to shul, the Torah is a very sacred and holy thing, and therefore it's covered, and it's like hidden in a special, like a cupboard. When you go to shul, they open up the cupboard and they take out the Torah, which is very tightly wrapped up with a cover over it. The reason why the Torah is like that is because it is so holy and sacred. You would never just leave it lying open. And you would never just, no one could just go up to it and touch it and just feel comfortable to do whatever they want with it. So the same thing is with a woman. A woman is considered so holy and so sacred that we cover ourselves so as we don't expose ourselves, because we're not just any, these days women are just used for advertisements and their bodies are just like thrown everywhere and whatever. We treat our bodies as a very sacred and holy thing, and therefore we're very modest in the way we dress and the way we cover our hair. When everything is exposed, it's not considered sacred, and it's just sort of cheapens whatever it is, and therefore we're very, very careful about covering our hair. With Chabad women, we do tend to wear wigs most of the time, and the reason for doing this is because when you wear a scarf or a hat, we're not 100% guaranteed that the scarf is covering every single hair or that the hat is not going to get blown off in the wind or whatever it is. So with regards to the fact that our hair is a part of our body that we're really not allowed to show anyone, we have to cover every single hair. And with a wig or shaitel, you're 100% guaranteed that every single hair is covered and it's not going to slip back. It's I'm going to show you soon how they're made and how it stays on my hair, but this thing is not going anywhere. So I'm no worries about running down Bondi Road and my wig's falling on the floor. And talking about pros about wearing a shaitel, practical pros. Number one, I never have a bad hair day. It's always ready to wear. When I come home and I'm cooking my fish or I'm frying fish or whatever it is, it's on the wig head upstairs in a closed room. And then when I'm ready to go out, I have my perfect hair on my head. To have a cut, wash, blow dry, or whatever I want to do with my hair, I will go to my hairdresser, drop my head off there, go to Westfield and come back and my hair is perfect. So that saves me like 2 or 3 hours. Lots of choices. You know, Monday I could be a blonde bob, Tuesday I could be a brown curly long, and then Wednesday I could be like a brunette straight long, and then that night I'll go to a wedding, I'll have an updo and it's all ready. Like I don't have to do anything. I could just chop and change. They're all sitting in my bedroom very neatly color coordinated. I actually have a lot of friends that really do go like crazy with different wigs. I'm a little bit more conservative, so I'll wear like this color and this length, but I'll go from choppy to streaky to dead straight, and then sometimes I'll go a bit curly if I was going to a wedding or whatever. But there are people, I don't know, maybe in this community, that have fun with their wigs a little bit more gutsy than I am, and good for them. There's really nothing wrong with it. I'm personally like really proud of the fact that I wear a wig, and I'm not embarrassed at all, and I have no problem with telling people that I'm wearing a wig. There are a lot of my friends that don't, necessarily advertise it. I mean, I don't advertise it either, but they don't, they prefer not to talk about it, or they'll go to work and make sure that no one in the office knows. I'm the opposite. I like to tell people. I don't announce it, but if people ask me, I proudly tell them that I'm wearing one, and I tell them why I'm wearing one. A few weeks ago, I was walking in Bondi Junction. This guy came up to me with his these paper, leaflets, flyers that he was opening a new salon. So he came up to me and it's like, "Oh, you have such beautiful hair, and we opened up a new salon in the city. You have to come." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a wig. I just love shocking people." And he's like, looks at me like I'm like, "Don't worry, I'm not sick. I'm fine. I'm religious." And then I explain it. I just love it. I like explaining to people. I like shocking people as well. I don't know. Another interesting thing about head covering is the other different types of religious people that do cover their hair in very different ways than we do. And around 10 years ago, I used to work in Borough Park in Brooklyn, and I used to work with these very, very ultra Hasidic girls, and I used to talk to them the whole day about all these different things, because I also consider myself very ultra Hasidic, but they take it to like a whole new level. And there was one girl in particular who used to sit by the front desk, and she was 18 years old, and she looked like she was 14, and no makeup or anything, and she would wear her hair in like a ponytail every day, like a little ponytail, like up to here, with a little ribbon. Like she looked little. And one day she got married, and she came to work the next day in a turban. There was not a hair to be seen. She looked a lot older. And like I was in shock, because I've always heard about these people and I've seen them on the street, but I never had personal contact with them. And we got into this huge discussion about it, and she told me that she shaved her hair that night, the night of her wedding, and she showed me like the little spikes under her hat, and I was just like amazed. I really had a lot of respect for her, because she was so comfortable and happy with the way she was, with the fact that she'd really accepted and grew up with the fact that she was covering her hair in a way that she shouldn't be attractive. And that was fine. It was very interesting for me to speak to someone firsthand who covered her hair in a whole different way than I did. And we were like, having this whole discussion whether mine was better than hers or whatever. My way was better than hers, but it was very lighthearted, and it was very, very interesting. And I had a lot of respect for these people, especially because they were very happy with the way they do things. Darcy and Rifki, these are my models for the day. Let me just show you. Rifki's wearing a shaitel that has not been cut. It's called a raw shaitel. I sell a lot of these. And basically people, you have to use your imagination, but their hair is 100% human. This top is bent down. It's this way, like show them the skin part. This is like a skin part that goes everywhere. It's called a multi-directional. And basically you'll just go to the hairdresser and have it shaped around your face with the style that you want. This is another Chevy shaitel, but it's called a pre-cut, and it's pre-cut. People love this because they don't have to use their imagination. They come in, put it on their head, love it, and walk out. This is easy. But a lot of people like to take the cutting very slow, because as you know, once you cut it, it's not growing back. But on the other hand, then there's people that come in and just love the pre-cuts and give a big smile. She loves it. She's already decided when she gets married that this is the one, so I have to keep it for her. And yeah, that's basically the shaitel story in 10 minutes.